Hello everybody and welcome back to my vanity. Today we are doing an update on my 2022 Pan Those Eyeshadows project. My first update of the year, and I've got some good progress to share with you. Even though I'm dividing my attention between my Pan Those Eyeshadows project and my Pan That palette, we still have some good progress to share. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new here, my name is Jessica. I'm not feeling so good. My head hurts a lot. I think I should take some medicine. I should just take an aspirin, but I've been like torturing myself for some reason. I sang karaoke last night and I had no business singing karaoke because my voice was already feeling strained from the week. And yeah, so that's the raspy voice. There's the explanation for that. But I did have fun singing karaoke. I sang my heart out even though I could barely sing. Got all my palettes here in their usual little spots, so let's go ahead and talk about these eyeshadows. I had some challenging shades, some fun shades, but ones that were just a little more challenging to use, and that added just another level of difficulty for the past month, but it also made it really fun and pushed me to do some creative looks that I'll be excited to share with you at the end of the video, so stay tuned till the end for those. The first shade we're going to talk about is my ColourPop SuperShock shadow in the shade Weenie, and I'm not going to show it to you just yet. I used this 6 times in the past month. The shade already had some wear on it. Here's what it was looking like. I'd already been unofficially panning it just kind of on the side before it came into my project. And after 5 more uses, I was able to hit pan. So this is what she's looking like now. This is my first pan ever on a SuperShock shadow. So that's exciting. And that is just such a tongue twister. It's not easy for me to say right now, so I'm going to try to avoid saying it. But I did use this one other time after hitting pan. So I used it a total of 6 times to reach this pan size. And I love this shade. I'm really glad it came into my collection, and I'm really glad to have pan on one of these finally. And it's not going anywhere. It's going to stick around in my makeup drawer. I'm really glad that I kind of just had a chance to fall in love with this shade again. It helped me to produce some beautiful looks over the past month. There's Weenie right there. There's a swatch of her. Really just enjoy how metallic and gorgeous it is. It really paired well with a lot of the pink tones in the Modern Renaissance palette. Almost gives like a very rosy vibe. It also can pull pretty neutral as well when you pair it with, more neutral tones in the crease. So very wearable shade, very beautiful. And maybe I'll even look into expanding the pan on this in the future in one of my other projects. That might be fun. So that was a really fun one and my first pan of the year, so hooray. And I think it's awesome to share a pan with you also in the first update. Like, that's exciting. Yeah, it was kind of a gimme, but I'm taking it. I'll take all the gimmies I can get. The next shadow was from my Frozen 2 Elsa palette from ColourPop. A lot of ColourPop love during this last month in my project. So I was working on the shade Gale, and in the past month I used this 8 times, and it's a very pretty shade. It didn't have a lot of use when I rolled it in. This is what it was looking like. It's actually quite sheer. It's not super high pigment. It's really nice for just like a wash of purple. That's Gale right there, and I do really love this palette. It's been fun having it back out again. All right, this is what Gale is looking like now. You can definitely see the dip in there, and this one's pretty deep. I don't think I'll be hitting pan anytime soon, but I'm okay with holding on to her for a while. It's a beautiful palette to play with, super fun to have in and out, I should say, on my vanity. And I've even been trying to dip into the glitter a little bit, and I would love to play with this blue shade at some point. Maybe I can combine them and do like a really icy purple blue look. That would be fun. So yes, we're gonna hang on to Elsa. I don't mind looking at the Ice Queen every day. ColourPop, has nailed it on the cute palettes, and why not have makeup be cute and fun to look at. The next shade I was working on was from my Shaaanxo The Remix palette from BH Cosmetics, and I used this shade 12 times in the past month, and this one is a very neutral rose gold color. You can really just use it like as a lid shade or even an inner corner highlight. So that is Glow Baby right there. This shade I used 12 times in the last month. Here's what it was looking like when we rolled her in. It definitely had a little bit of use on it, but not much. And after those 12 uses, we do now have a pan. So there it is. It's just a tiny pan. I did use it one other time after I hit pan. It was just a little baby pan, and I wanted to expand it a little more, but once I hit pan, I was like, okay, I'm ready to move on from that. The shade I find to be very similar to the one I'm panning in the Pan That palette. So I didn't feel the need to make it any bigger, but I'm happy to pan on another shade in this palette. This palette is one of my favorites. It's been a staple for me ever since I've gotten it. It's a very versatile palette. I've gotten a lot of good looks out of here and it performs very well. So yeah, also love Shaaanxo. Like, she's so cute. She was one of like my first YouTubers that I watched when I started like falling in love with the makeup community. Shout out to Shan. Okay, like I said, a lot of ColourPop love. The next shade we're working on is from my ColourPop She's a Rainbow palette, and we rolled in the shade Sweet Spot, and that's that bright yellow shade. The past month I've used this shade 5 times, and it's kind of been tricky because we're in the winter months here and you don't wear a lot of, you know, bright colors in the winter, or I don't typically. So I've been kind of having to like challenge myself to use this. Here's what she was looking like last month. I hardly had any use at all. And here's what the shade is looking like today. And hopefully you can see there's some disturbance in the surface. Definitely starting to get a little tiny dip in there, but it's very, very minor. And these are pretty deep pans. I don't expect to hit pan on this, honestly. Even reaching 30 uses might be difficult, like for the first time ever. I don't know. I'm going to try and stick with it. I don't like giving up on shades. So yeah, I think I can definitely try and get myself to use this more in the next month. Like, find a way to mix it with another shade or something and get my 30 uses on it. I'm thinking about lowering my amount of uses. I really don't want to, but we'll see. Let me know what you think. I know that everyone's very open in this community. You can kind of change the project up, whatever suits you best. I haven't had to roll something out before 30 uses up until now. So why start today? Like, I'm very stubborn in this way where I just won't let myself give up. I like challenge myself almost to a fault. There's Sweet Spot swatched, and you know, it's okay. It's not like the best yellow ever, but I did do some fun yellow looks over the past month, and I'll, of course, include those at the end. The school I work for, their colors are blue and gold, so I wore it on Spirit Day, and the kids loved it. So yeah, we're going to keep her in, probably for a while, so get used to Sweet Spot. The last shade is from my ColourPop The Child palette, and I was so pleased to roll this adorable little thing in. It's so fun to reach for, and I've been having fun playing with the greens in this palette a lot. And I did roll in a green. I rolled in the Float Your Crib shade. It was hardly used at all. When I rolled it in, it looked like this. And in the past month, I used it 6 times, but I did use quite a dense brush and a small brush, so we were able to make a little dip. This is what it's looking like today. A dark green shade, if I wasn't clear. And this shade is good for a liner. I love it buffed out in the outer crease. That's how I've used it mostly. And then I did do a look where I like created like a kind of a graphic liner with this shade. So there's Float Your Crib right there. It's quite a deep army green, but I found it's really quite easy to mix it in with other shades. Like, you can mix it with browns really well. I paired it with the purple from the Elsa palette, the Gale shade, and that worked out nice. So after 6 uses, we're gonna roll her, or we're gonna keep her in. I'm hopeful that with continued use with those small pinpointed brushes, that pan is not as far away as it may feel like it is. All right, so we have those 2 new pans that we can add to our pan percentage. That's exciting. So last month, my pan percentage was at 9.73%. And with these 2 additional pans, that means I have 45 of my 442 eyeshadows that have pan in them. So that's great. And that brings my pan percentage up to 10.18%. So we are above the 10% mark, which is so exciting. I would love to get maybe to 15. I don't know. I don't want to like get too ambitious this year, but it's just fun to track. Yeah, 10%. Not bad. Not too shabby. I'm excited about it. All right, now we can roll in those new shades and see what is up next in this Pan Those Eyeshadows journey. Come along. Okay, let's find out what these new shades are. I've got my Tiny Decisions app pulled up on my iPad, and this is just what I have to work with, so you get the big screen version. Lucky you. All right, so all of my palettes are in here. I'm gonna spin for 2 more palettes. Here we go. No way. The Ciate Glitter Storm. This palette loves to be in this project. Okay, that's 3 times. Let's go see. Let's see what it is. Let's see what's in there. I think because I'm doing the Pan That palette right now as well, if there's a shade that I roll in that's too similar to something in the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, I will re-roll. So we'll see. Here's the Ciate Glitter Storm palette. This is why. This is why the palette keeps getting rolled in. It's for your glitter viewing pleasure. It's just so fun. I'll put some music on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, this is what this palette is looking like. It's very reflective. I'm sorry. But it already has 2 pans in it. Rolled it in twice. What is in store for me this time? If I roll in the purple, that'd be cool. Maybe one of the glitters would be fun. There's 7 shades in this palette without pan in them. So let's randomize the numbers 1 through 7. The number 4. 1, 2, 3. Skip that one. 4. All right. That is Solar. It's a pretty shade. It's like a burgundy satin. You know what this shade reminds me of? Is Antique Bronze. But it's like better. It's like a better shade than Antique Bronze, I think. So it looks like that. Do I want to go for this? Yeah, Antique Bronze is much more brown. You can see there. So we'll go for it. It might be a good shade to pair with the Modern Renaissance palette. So yes, that's the first one coming in. Solar. And this one does not have a ton of use on it. You can see it's barely used. And obviously this palette just loves being around. I love having it around, so it's fine. It's fine. We're excited. I was hoping to roll in a new palette. You know, you're always hoping to kind of bring something fresh that you haven't gotten to work on yet in a project, but that's okay. You know who gave me that? I always say this. My sister gave that palette to me, so that makes me happy. I just like using it for that reason. Oh, wow. Okay. I rolled in, oh, sorry, I should have showed you. I rolled in my potted singles, which is exciting because I wanted to like bring those in every month or I was thinking I might want to do that and that's just happening on its own. So that's kind of cool that the makeup gods are just sprinkling little deliveries of what I prayed for. So let's find out what we get. I'm going to like lay them out. That's what I'll do. Because they're just like in a basket. So I want to like lay them out randomly and then I'll select a number randomly and just do it that way. All right, so I have 9 potted singles without pan in them. So let's put that in. My iPad's about to die, so let's get this done. So I have the numbers 1 through 9. Let's shake it. I forgot to shake the other one. Shaking's the best part. 6, number 6. Let's go. Okay, I got the shade Tassel. And it's a very just sparkly, kind of silvery white shade. That'll be easy to use. Inner corner highlight. Uh-oh, just broke. Pan fell out. I'll have to glue that back in, I guess. Here's what it's looking like now. It definitely has a little bit of a disturbance already. That's cool. That's good. We like to see that. This will be fun to work on. It'll be really easy to pair with a lot of color palettes. So yeah, there it is. It's like that silvery sparkle. I can put that over as a topper. I can use it on my inner corner. Maybe even could like put it on my face if we're doing like something ethereal feeling. I don't know. I could experiment with it. That'd be fun. So here's last month's palette that it'll be moving on. And here we have this month's palette all swatched together. Float Your Crib from the Child palette. Sweet Spot from the ColourPop She's a Rainbow palette. Solar, almost like a burgundy red from the Ciate Glitter Storm palette. Tassel, SuperShock Shadow from ColourPop. And lastly, we have Gale from the ColourPop Frozen 2 Elsa palette. I think I could definitely make some interesting looks with these colors. I will be incorporating Solar into, well, I'll be incorporating all of these into my Pan That palette, but I can see Solar and Tassel both fitting in pretty well with that. So that makes me happy. Now let me talk about a few of my makeup looks from the past month. Okay, so this first look was my first attempt using that yellow shade. I used Sweet Spot in the upper crease and I combined it with, I think I did maybe all of my colors here. No, I made like a sunset look. I combined Sweet Spot with Real Gar, and then I used Love Letter in the outer crease, and Gale is on my lid. Maybe something else is on my lid as well. Maybe Glow Baby and Gale, but definitely Gale. I really liked that look though. It was fun. It was kind of different. This look was really fun. This was just a Saturday playing with makeup at home, and I used Float Your Crib and Sweet Spot together, and I made this fun little lemon lime look. I was feeling inspired by like Sprite, like lemon lime type vibes. I thought yellow and green would be a fun combination, and it was. It was not something I would normally wear, but it was just, you know, fun to play around like that and do something different. In this look, I have Weenie all over the lid, as well as Glow Baby on the inner part of the lid. This was the yellow look that I did for Spirit Day. I actually did this look twice. Basically just used the entire row of yellows, just went down to create that look, even the glitter, and that was super fun. The students really loved it. Even my principal commented and enjoyed the spirit of the yellow eyeshadows on Spirit Day. This is my green look I created with the Child palette, and I created like a graphic, it's not really graphic, it's just like an outer wing with that Float Your Crib shade, and I just wanted to dive into the Child palette here and just use a bunch of the shades for this look, and it's just a really fun palette to play with. I think green eyeshadow is just underrated. All right, this is a very like purple look I did using shades from ABH Modern Renaissance, and then I used Gale all over the lid there. This is another look where I tried to incorporate Sweet Spot. So I have that yellow shade all buffed out of the crease, and I think I mixed it in with Real Gar, and then just kept it neutral on the lid. I think I have Glow Baby all over the lid here. This is another look I did with the Child palette, and you know, a little more everyday, less glamorous look, but really pretty all the same. And there is definitely Float Your Crib in that look in the outer part of the crease. And lastly, I believe I used Sweet Spot in this look as well. Yeah, Sweet Spot is buffed out, I think just very lightly, and then maybe mixed in with other shades from ABH Modern Renaissance. And I have Glow Baby on the lid, and I believe I topped it here with like a liquid sparkly shadow. Just give it a little more oomph. All right, so those are my looks from the last month. I hope you enjoyed them. I really enjoyed sharing them with you. This video was a struggle to get through. I'm sorry if I was just a little off today. I'll admit I'm not feeling very well. Hopefully I'll be feeling better next time. Thank you so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of my looks. Subscribe if you're new. Any other feedback you might have. I don't know. Just say hi. I love hearing from all of you. And I hope to see you in my next video. See you later. Bye.